was pulled this way and that for longer than I can remember. And my problem was that I always tried to go in everyone's way but my own. I have also been called one thing and then another, while no one really wished to hear what I called myself. So after years of trying to adopt the options of others, I finally rebelled. So this piece is Black in America, the untold aftermath of where we is, but not of who we be. Who is they and why is we what they be calling us when we got our own name? How can CNN present what my pigment meant? What my black skin means? Can they even decipher between my sighs and my screams? How do they reconcile my laughter amid my tears? Are they prepared to probe the gravity of my fears? Explain who my ancestors are? Articulate the dark history of wounds that are now my scars? They can't possibly sing the blues of my hues when they can only tell me their news and half-truths. Who is they and why is we what they be calling us when we got our own name? They claim they can tell my story, the nuances of my struggle, the depths of my glory, but they can't begin to suggest the complexity of my skin, nor comment on the demons and divinity dwelling within. Man, fuck CNN for having the audacity to tell me who I be. Their timelines are off, their storyboards are false, and shame on us for thinking that Barabbas could bear our cross. Our story is our story. My fire next time is not their purgatory. Mulatto mouths with half-white puppet lips can't lift my truth. Soledad can't hold my flag nor know my roots. Cast her back to her Monticello love shack. Mount her mic and tongue on a gilded plaque, for I know what it is to be black in America. Half aware, half insane on the terrain of mass hysteria, and no commercial interruptions disrupt my maladaptive malfunctions. You can now tune in to the unedited discussion. It doesn't matter if I'm a rapper or pastor, poet or hustler, doctor or lawyer, because to be black in America is to forever be locked inside the gates of paranoia. There are too many liberal Tom Sawyers and Huckleberry Finns that claim they out to save the life of nigga Jim, but this nigga's in a precarious predicament when other black skin, clothed bone and muscle ligament. Then every minute is spent trying to conjure ways to strike back against this fascist establishment. My mind is bent on a relentless environment, vying for my detriment, and every second is spent like every dollar I rent to get nothing I own, just to muster some strength from these weary flesh and bones to exercise one viable thought in my dome to make systematic ghosts leave an invisible man alone. But I think till my head aches and heart moans. I'm lost in a land far gone, watching my black flesh disappear out of view like Star Jones. I'm calling home a shack I'm shackled to. Palpable euphemisms disguise lies and racism while I'm forced to lay within them like an encaged slave in Graves prison. I hunger for freedom, but they gave me they schools and religion. Who is they and why is we what they be calling us when we got our own name? It doesn't matter if I'm Jesus or Judas, Emmett Till or Frank Lucas, Jeremiah Wright or Barack Obama, because to be black in America is to forever be locked inside the gates of paranoia. Doesn't matter what they call you if they control you. What's the difference between a slave and an African American? Only the former realizes he's an African violently pushed to be American. Suspended in Martin's feudal dream, still trying to wake to the sound of freedom's muted ring. But how can freedom ring when the bells are gone? Less than 6 degrees separate Michael from Sean. We achieve their degrees and then our minds are gone. Instead of educated, we become indoctrinated pawns. How do you respond when their institutions and their senses turn you into a number and numb your senses? What happens to your physical when your existence is more physical than literal? What happens to your physical when your existence is more figurative than literal? Critical questions forced into suppression by state-sanctioned curriculums of legalized oppression. We are backward expressions of blind third eyes colonized in colleges, docile philosophers, subjugated economists, passive scientists denying the right to resist, and theologians convincing us Jesus was a capitalist. This is the foolishness of slaves with degrees, MBAs and PhDs bound to the plantation but think they free. Them colored porch monkeys don't speak for me. As long as my people be strapped in chains and racked in pain, my reality reality compels me to remember from whence I came. Who is they and why is we? What they be calling us when we got our own name? We are ostracized offspring of kings and queens, the lineage of whips, slave ships, and dope fiends. We ain't some metaphysical thing theorists struggle to explain, nor a pathological ethos without a history to claim. We are progeny of the slain, flesh vestiges of the noose and chain, deviant remnants of bludgeon bloodlines that remain. We be, we is, we be, we is, we be, we is, we is what we be, but we be none of where we is. Black in America.